3 years ago, we didn't even think that kindergarten would be possible for Elise. Good morning, princess. Ready to wake up? Go to kindergarten? Yeah? Okay, let's go downstairs, okay? Okay. We had already heard this awful, devastating diagnosis, and we were just basically waiting for things to get worse. Rather than getting worse, Elise has just gotten stronger. She's doing things that we never, ever would have imagined her doing. She's jumping, she's skipping, she's writing, she's starting to read, and I think her starting kindergarten, it's been just the most amazing experience. Come on, let's go. I know.
Our kid got on the school bus this year. If you had asked me that in our lowest of lows, and we knew nothing about the disease before we had started doing research, before we had started our foundation and our fight, could that have ever happened? And today we can sit here and say, absolutely. Absolutely. She gets on that bus every day.
Beautiful today. Bye. She looks like a healthy, normal, happy kid, and largely she is. She's a happy, healthy child who is living with a terminal disease under the surface. I think even on the best of days and when you're having the best of times and doing great things as a family, it's always in the back of your head a little bit. It's always there, and I feel like I have this recurring dream where there's finally a treatment and I don't have to feel the weight of the world and just all of that pressure of knowing that my child could die.
This is a horrible disease where you watch your child die a little bit every day, and then you have to make the decision to finally let them go. It's something that I wouldn't want any other mother to have to go through. It's the most devastating decision that you ever have to make in your life.
You watch your kid lose everything. It is the cruelest disease you could ever possibly imagine. Cal was perfect. Like all leukodystrophy kids, they are typically born absolutely perfect. She was diagnosed in June of 2012. By August, she had uttered her last word. She looked up at my husband and said, "Daddy." She was paralyzed by the fall, and she needed a G-tube by Christmas. It was unbelievable. Everything was gone within 6 months. And I am just so determined for my daughter to make sure that no family has to go through this again, to make sure that no child has to go through this again. And that's the only way I can think of to make up for everything that's been taken from us. The only way to keep going is to help other people. That's the only way.
I think Elise's Corner initially was almost a way for us to cope. And when you look at the event that we had in 2015, really, the people who attended the event, those are huge heroes. Without their support, without all of the generosity that they gave to Elise's Corner, it never would have allowed us to grant the money that we did to the Wiseman Center in Wisconsin, to CHOP in Philly, to UNC down in North Carolina. So everyone who's in that room is our hero in some way, shape, or form.
We feel like our event helped break down these silos where there was a research occurring across the country. There was an effort to develop a leukodystrophy center for excellence at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, and we created additional communication that started occurring, and the progress has been incredible.
Right away, from the very first time that we spoke with Dr. Waldman, she began to give us hope because the medical community is moving at such a fast pace.
Our dream is that within a few years, we have a treatment to offer patients and families to change their child's lives, give them the gift of childhood.
So when you look at Elise's brain scan,
it's really an honor for me to work with Dr. Albie Messing from the University of Wisconsin in Madison, whose life work has been about Alexander disease. We really spoke in depth at Elise's event in November of 2015, and then it was clear what needed to happen and how we needed to bring the patients here and put them through a series of tests in order to collect data to bring to the FDA to make that trial a possibility.
Elise's Corner has been able to actually get this study moving forward. This study requires, aside from coordinating a lot of different elements to it, it costs a lot of money. And we would not be able to do it if it weren't for Elise's Corner.
I feel an urgency every time I hear that a patient with Alexander disease has lost their fight. And really for me, this is not about It's about changing Elise's future, not about establishing her legacy.
I think Elise is such an inspirational child, and I look at her and she just turned 6 years old, and she has accomplished more in her 6 years of life without even knowing it than a lot of people do in their entire lifetime. So she is, in my eyes, the definition of what a true hero is.
We could be heroes. Ooh. We could be heroes, me and you. We could be heroes. Ooh. We could be heroes, me and you. We could be.
Our hope is that one day I can look at all of these beautiful children and these families and say, I have a treatment for you, and we're going to beat this.
It offers hope. If you can bring a treatment to one specific leukodystrophy like Alexander disease, I think families might sense that something might break through for them as well.
We know that there are miracles waiting, and so we're not going to stop. In 10 years, we will host a gala, and instead of pictures of kids who've died, we will have a room full of children who are walking and talking and getting a chance to grow up because of the work that the Bonskis are supporting.
I don't think we can sit here and say that we're across the finish line. We're still in the race. This is a marathon, but we're making good progress. I think we can sit here today and say there's hope, right? There's love, and hopefully we're going to find a cure. We are going to find a cure.
We could be heroes.